What's going on, guys? I'm Tanner and you're watching TWOutdoors. And today I'm going to be comparing two different chatterbaits, the Z-Man Chatterbait Freedom versus the Z-Man Project Z Weedless Chatterbait. These are newer chatterbaits to the market, and their main intent was to be more weedless than their previous versions. Now, if you've ever fished a chatterbait, you know they come through weeds fairly well. I throw the regular ones up in weeds all the time and they come out pretty well. But what I think their main intention was with these is to make them more woodless per se. Because if you've ever fished a chatterbait around wood, you throw it up there, you try to bring it out, you caught a tree. And then you either have to go in and get it and everything else because you don't want to lose your chatterbait because they're not cheap per se. But I'm be going over the differences of the chatterbaits, how they're alike, what I like and dislike about each of them, and see which one might fit your purposes better. All right. So I'm gonna start out with the Z-Man Freedom Chatterbait. All right. Here's what it looks like up close. Alright, and it's got this is the white and chartreuse color, and both of these chatterbaits are in 3/8 of an ounce. Alright, so white and chartreuse, and then the blade is a golden blade. There you go, y'all can see it right there. And it's got the newer line tie on it. Right there. So, because the old line tie, it would get like snagged and hung up, and everything else is a big mess sometimes. It wouldn't chatter, you had to try to get it to fix and everything else. So, they've started using their newer line ties, which I really like them. But the main thing with this Freedom Chatterbait was it was designed in conjunction with Freedom Tackle, and they have their swivel head innovated into it. This was originally designed to be a swim bait head, but then they put it on a chatterbait, and you can see how the hook swings freely. That will give it some more action when it's coming through the water and different things like that. Also, what you can do with it is change out the hook. Let's see if I can show y'all right there. Right there, you can unscrew it, take this hook off, I can unscrew it, and put a brand new hook on it. If this one dulls, or if it's too big for what I want, or too small, or whatever I may want. The only problem that I found with this is the hook shank. Okay, let me get it set here, is very long. Okay, y'all can see how the hook shank is coming out of the end right there. Alright, with Z-Mans, the way they have their skirts is they're changeable. So I can pull this skirt off and put a brand new one on. The only problem with that is this little rubber washer here that the skirt material's in. Let me see if there you go. I should be able to see it right there. You can see the little black washer. It takes up a fair amount of room on the hook shank. So I put a 3/0 Gamakatsu wide gap hook on here, and this skirt material but pretty much took up the whole entire shank. So I couldn't even get a trailer to fit on there. So if you're gonna want to change out hooks on these, I would suggest going and trying to. I don't even know if they make them. I'm sure they probably do make them. I just never have bought them before. Is getting some long shank hooks to use with this chatterbait. All right, so there's that. That's really the only negative I've had about this chatterbait is that the hooks are kind of. You can't use a regular hook that you'd already have in your tackle box. You'd have to go buy more, even if they do make more hooks that way. I'm pretty sure they do, but I've never bought them before, so. But there's the Z-Man Freedom Chatterbait. So let's move on to the Project Z Weedless Chatterbait. Alright, this one here is designed exactly like the Project Z Chatterbait. The only difference is it's got this little weed guard on here, which y'all can see right there. It has the same exact shape as the regular Project Z Chatterbait. Everything's the exact same. Alright. So there's that. The only difference, there's not really too big of a difference between these two. This one just doesn't have the swing head. And for some reason in this one, they don't offer a white and chartreuse skirt. Y'all can see it kind of looks white and chartreuse, but you can see it's got the grayish and everything else in there. So I wish they would just offer a plain white and chartreuse like they did in the Freedom. But also one thing, this one here is a little bit less weedless per se than the Freedom Chatterbait, because I'll go into how you rig them here in a second. But what can happen usually, how chatterbaits get hung, is they're going across wood and then they flip like that and then they hook. So this right here, this little weed guard right here, as y'all can see, it moves. So if you hit a tree hard enough, it could push that down just enough to snag onto the wood. And they have to do it that way so that when a fish grabs it, it'll go down so the fish can bite it. So, I haven't, to date, gotten it hung in wood. I've thrown it up in brush piles, everything. It has not got hung yet. So, so far it's doing pretty good. Alright, so, how do you rig these chatterbaits? Alright, so, the Freedom Chatterbait. I would take my trailer, whatever it may be, grub, double tail grub, swim bait, anything that it may be, and then basically you Texas rig it on here. So, however you Texas rig, you just Texas rig it on the hook. And then that's it. Very simple process. Pretty much every fisherman, if you fished for bass, you know how to Texas rig. It's been one of the oldest techniques used. It's caught probably the most fish ever caught in bass fishing. So that's how that one works, just off a Texas rigged setup. And then the Project Z Weedless works off of just the regular chatterbait. You just kind of feed it down the hook on there so that the hook's exposed. That's exactly how that one works. Just like the regular chatterbaits, and then that weed guard is supposed to help protect it against trees or a few like weeds and stuff. But I think their more intention for this was for trees, brush piles, and stuff like that. Alright, so which one do I prefer out of the two? The Freedom or the Project Z Weedless? Okay. Well, let me talk about price first. Alright, price. This one right here, Project Z Weedless on Tackle Warehouse, will run you for about $8.99. So, it's pretty expensive chatterbait. In other words, if I got this thing hung, I'm going in the water after it. So, it's fairly expensive chatterbait. Alright, and then the Freedom is about $1 less. It's about $7.99. So, even if I got this one hung, I'm probably still going in the water to try to find it if I can't get it off. So that's kind of the price difference, which the Project Z Chatterbait was already, I think, Project Z Chatterbait is $7.99 as it is. So basically you're paying $1 for that weed guard, which, that's kind of a rip-off to me. Because, I mean, they probably put that on there for a few cents and charge you $1 for it. But that's just how companies work. So there's those two. There's price comparison. Which one do I like better? Dun dun dun. I like Project Z Weedless. Even though it's costs more money, it's a little bit more expensive. I just like the way it runs better in the water. And even though this could still get snagged, I haven't got it snagged yet. And I've been running it through very thick brush, very thick cover, everything like that. So I'm going with the Project Z Chatterbait in the Weedless. So I'll probably eventually get some more of these. But for now, I just have this one. Alright, so there's that, and then here's this. There's the last one. There's the Freedom right there. I'll put them up to the camera so y'all can see them both fairly well. Y'all can see the Freedom's head's actually a little bit fatter than the Project Z's, but there's that. Thank y'all for watching this video, and I hope y'all enjoyed. Hope y'all learned something, and hope y'all can figure out which one you would prefer over the other one. So, see y'all on the next episode.